This is Discovering War channel. I am happy for your comments, and also I'm very happy to bring out this video to you today, because I know one of the reasons why the channel exists is to bring to notice and your knowledge things you need to know as long as discovering is concerned. The latest discovering the world and those things you need to have knowledge on. So please feel free to subscribe in Discovering War channel, because this is the only channel that brings the latest to you. I've received a lot of comments, and I've also received subscription, and many people are also giving me a call over my last production. And today I'm going to look critically on some comments people made, and I'm going to answer them through this video. From there, I can now talk about the new production of today. First of all, let me start from this comment which made by one of you who sent this to me. This comment review. Now this is a comment from Annie. You say, wow, it is amazing, very useful to my project. Thank you, sir. Please share your WhatsApp number. Please, I will give you WhatsApp number personally, though I don't like sharing my personal details, right? But if you want to reach me, you can also reach me through the email address. Then I have now communicated to you the WhatsApp number personally. Then the next contribution I make here is that please share motor, generator and flywheel technical specification. So please share motor, generator and flywheel technical specification. Okay, I'm going to do production in this area, because that is what many people are asking for. They're asking for the specification for the flywheel. Many are asking what is the spark source and other things. I'm going to do video on that very soon, because I know this is the how to show people the secret of what free energy generator is all about, and I want many people to start producing their free energy generator. So I'm going to do a video on this. Please share motor, generator and flywheel technical specification. Then another comment is also here. He said, hello dear, where to get the part from? Any other video I would like to watch, a video solely based on its part, how it works in details, please. Is it possible, brother? Yes, it's possible. In fact, if I don't really understand what you mean by part, because I've already explained different parts on that videos. I've explained about the electric motor, I've explained about the generator, I also explained about the flywheel and the bed. These are all different parts that make the component that make the free energy generator. But if you don't understand more about that, I'm going to also explain better in one of the videos. But if you want to get where you can get the parts, where you can buy the part of the things listed for the production of energy, when I'm going to send you a link on that. What you just have to do, just communicate to me privately, and I'm going to send you a link on how to get most of the parts. They are very easy to be found. If you are in Nigeria, if you are in UK or US, you can get it. So I'm going to communicate to you that from that also. Thank you also for your contribution and also your comment. And this person says something about, thank you friend. Thank you also. I appreciate your comment, I appreciate your contribution, and also encourage others to also give their comment. And from now on, I'm not going to answer phone call directly. I would like everyone to give his comments through the video you watch, so that I can be able to know what you're looking for and why you ask the questions. Because many people always give me a call, they call me most of the time in the night and ask me some questions about the video they watch. But I would prefer you give the comment right away in the video, so that those who have not wanted to ask the same question you ask can learn from the answer I'm going to give from the same video, and all from the video I'm going to produce on that issue. So please, I encourage you to do that, so that we cannot be answering the same question severally, to save our time and also time for that research work. So, but for the benefit of that, today I'm going to focus solely on the first question asked by this man. He said, wow, it is amazing, very useful to my project. Thank you. Please share your WhatsApp number. You come here and say, please share motor, generator and flywheel technical specification. So today production is going to be based on the specification, the flywheel specification, and the motor, the electric motor specification. But solely today I'm going to focus on the motor specification, how 50 kVA or 50 kVW free energy generator is configured. You're going to know about the configuration involved on this production, and I call it secret one, because many watch it, understand the method, but they don't know what is the specification required for this particular generator to be produced. So I have to set a standard. I have to use the 50 kVA. I have to use the 50 kVA here as a base mass, so that if you know the configuration for the 50 kVA, then you should also use that for other production based on the rates at which you want to get. You want to produce 100 kVA, 100 kW, you want to produce 10 kilowatts or 20 kilowatts, whatever you want to produce, whatever it is. But I want to tell you that the all specification have the same method. It's all based on what your kilowatts want to produce. So let's continue on that. Now, I said you cannot run a smooth free energy generator without the basic knowledge on how the generator is configured. You cannot run a free energy generator without knowing how these are configured, and that's where most people have a problem. Many people want to go and produce a free energy generator without understanding the configuration required on this production rate. That is why this video is very important. Now, I encourage you to share this video to many, because if you don't understand, if you don't know the specification, the requirement for the energy, what is required by the motor, what is required by the electric generator, what is required by the flywheel bed, all these things, if you don't know them, you will not be able to produce a good energy. So configuration plays a vital role in every electric device. In this video, I'm going to explain in details and in practical the configuration and specification needed for production of a free generator without getting your house burned. Because don't go and produce if you don't know how to do it. Because if you don't know how to produce and you go and produce, you may get your house burned, because you may have a very high voltage that can destroy equipment, or you can also have a low voltage that cannot even carry your equipment. So it is better for you to understand the specification for production before you go into production, because that will help you to also get things done easily. So that is why I say you should not produce if you don't know the specification. But if I explain, I'm using 50 kVA in this video to explain, then if you get these details, you can now follow this detail to now go ahead and do your production. Now, we still come back to the basic components of this free energy generator. I told you earlier during my first production, I told you about the components we need mostly, and there are 4 basic components in free energy generator. If you have this component available in your site, then you are sure of producing free energy generator without hindrance. Now, this is a generator, and I told you the function of the generator as long as free energy is concerned. I told you this is what this is where the light comes from. This generator generate light is the one that does the work of production of light, and this, I told you earlier, this cannot produce light without this master. Now, this is electric motor. The electric motor, I told you the function of electric motor. I said electric motor is to help to rotate the generator. And I earlier said if you have other devices that can generate, that can rotate this generator without electric motor or without mechanical, definitely there will be light, because this device function is to generate light, and it can only generate light if it has a rotating system. What can rotate it, that won't make it to be possible. So if you have any device, if you can be capable to use your own hand to turn this device in a very high frequency, definitely there will be light in the generator. That's the detail part, because there will be ignitions of the magnets that help to generate light. So that is where electric motor comes in. told you about electric motor. The electric motor duty is to rotate, and the function primary is focused on rotating itself. And when it rotates, definitely this generator is out to produce light because it's under a very high speed rotation. And then I told you about flywheel. The flywheel is only sometimes used for the joints of the belt. So if you want to join this and this together, the flywheel plays a vital role on that, and that is why the flywheel come in. And then the bed, as you can see, this is the flywheel, and this is the bed. And then the bed, what the bed does is to connect. The bed connect the flywheel, the two flywheel together. So the flywheel and the bed work together. So these are the basic components you may come across in the process of producing a free energy generator. You are going to come across the electric motor here. You're going to come across generator. You're going to come across the flywheel and the bed. So take note of these things so that we can go further. Now let's talk about the specification for the 50 kW generator. I told you earlier that today I'm going to focus basically on generator, then maybe in subsequent relation I take on electric motor, then go on flywheel, and then bed, because this young man said something here. He asked me about what you say I should explain. I should explain on. Look at, you see, I just say something here. He said, please share motor, generator, and flywheel technical specification. So I'm taking it one after the other. I'm taking motor first, then the next video electric motor, and then the first video flywheel. So it's step by step, so that you understand the whole process. Because if I take it all together, you might get confused in that process. So I have to take it one after the other so that you can get the details, you can get everything understood without missing things out. Now, what is generator? I explained earlier about generator here, so I don't need to repeat myself all the time. I told you about generator, that is all its duty to do as long as this energy is concerned is to generate light. There's nothing outside that. This generator, its primary duty is generate light, and it cannot generate light without a force that help it to turn. That is what you should understand, that this generator cannot generate light without a force. There's a force. If it must generate light, then there must be a force that help it to turn. That is where we have the electric motor. The electric motor is to help it to turn. So we have done that already. I don't want to waste our time here. Then let's go back to the specifications. Now, where I'm using this generator as for specification. Whenever you buy this generator, if you buy the generator, you will see something like this on the generator. You will see this, something like this, a label like this. And every generator is always there. You will see it. This is the specification. This is the specification of the generator. So I am using this label here, which I'm going to show you. This is it here. So I'm going to explain the specification on this place as 50 kV generator, the specification here, so that you will get to understand and then you now know what I mean. Now let me start from type. This is type here. Type. So this is the made of the generator. There are different types of generator. You can use the one suitable to you. In this video, I use the ST5. This is the specification, this type. Sometimes when people have different type, they can go to the market and see different type of generator. You can use any one you want to use. It's not just peculiar to ST5. You can use any type as long as you have what you want. So this is the type. This here, but this you will see there. You will see type on every generator. You see the label type. There is a made on that thing. So now here you see what we call output. You see the output. This is the capacity of the generator. The output here, this one is 50 kW. The 50 kW signifies the 50 kVA as the capacity output, what it can produce. And this is what it says. This is the capacity of the generator. The output power is solely determined by the coil system and the coil system used in the generator. The output power is solely determined by the coil system. So the bigger your coil, the bigger your output system. So we'll get that correct. So that is why I say, like this one, you have a 50 kW, the coil is consummate with a 50 kVA resistance. So you know about that. Then talk about the voltage. Here we have a 230 voltage. The voltage here is a voltage discharge of the generator per a time. What is, for instance, we have a bulb, the voltage that the bulb can contain, and when that voltage exceeds the bulb, that bulb will blow off. So it means the bulb cannot pass that voltage range. So it is also applicable to some electronics. There are some electronics in which their power consumption cannot pass 230 volt. Some cannot pass 280. Some cannot pass 180. Some cannot pass 120. Some cannot pass 70. So the voltage consumption rate is what we're talking about in this case. So in this kind of generator, does not produce more than 230 volt aspect per a time. Not kVA. Don't mix the two together, because kVA is the total consumption rate, total production rate of the generator, but per time the generator cannot produce more than this, more than 230 kV, 230 volt. So that's where, so in other words, if you have an equipment that is above 230 volt, then the generator cannot be able to consume it, cannot contain it. Get it right. If your equipment is that which consume more than that, if you buy equipment, look at the back and see the voltage range. There's equipment that take less. If it takes less, it's better. It means it takes less. It means it does not. It can bring. But if it takes more, like maybe 300, 400, then the generator cannot be able to contain. So that voltage range is too high. The generator is like overload. So I just wanted to say this. This is the voltage which that can release. Then if you go further, you also have the current. If you go further, you have the current system. This is the current. If you see the current, that's the input of the generator in each region is 2.1. Okay, this current, the current and the voltage are almost similar. They are almost like a range. But I most time consider the voltage, more than the current, because the voltage is most or less similar to the current issue. Now, the speed, please, this is very important. This is very important. The speed is very, very important. If you must be able to generate electricity by yourself, then you must consider speed. I said this is the rotation rate of generator per a time per minute. Just speed determines the rate of the voltage charge. In this case, I have 1,500 rm. See, in this case, the speed of the generator determines the voltage produced. So note, the higher the speed, the higher the resistance released per time. The higher the voltage, the higher resistance. So the voltage, the higher the speed of their motor, the higher the voltage. If the speed is low, then the power produced will also be low. So this is very important. That's why I say take note of that area. So each time you want to buy the generator, consider the speed ratio, the speed at which this runs. As you see, I told you this is the 1,500 RPM. That is per minute is 1,500. So it's a high speed. So 1,500 rotation per minute. There are some which are 2,800. Some which are 5,000. So all depends on the coil and the magnetic the use in the machine. So in the generator. So just take note of this one, that the speed, the higher the speed, the higher the voltage consumption rate. So that is one. Then if you move further, you have what we call phase. You talk about the phase, it's phase one. Now some people say, what do you mean by what is about phase? Not yet, let me tell you about the phase. Every equipment has the connection point. For instance, let me explain. You say a single phase generator is a suitable choice for equipment with low power consumption, you should go for a 3-phase generator for appliance with higher power consumption. Let me explain to you. In every equipment, we have different connection points. We have like 2 ports, 3 ports, or 4 ports. In this case, we talk about phase. We're talking about a connection point. The one with 3 phase has 3 cables run together. For instance, now if you see this one, this is a 1 phase, and this 1 phase is stable for a low consumption equipment, just like fridge, like AC, like television, and all these ones. These are low consumption electricity devices. So if you are going for, if you use it for mainly the house consumption, house rate or house consumption, then you should go for 1 phase. You should not need to go for bigger phase. You not go for 3 phase, because 3 phase is mostly considered by industrial purpose. So if you're going for if you're using it for your house, you're using it for only for house alone, then don't go for high phase. Don't go for 3 phase. Just use 1 phase. 1 phase is okay for you to consume your house. Then you have the 50 megahertz. The 50 megahertz is to also range with the speed. So telling you the speed at which the generator moves at a time. Then all this one, you don't need it, just serial. That's this serial just to do with the generator number, and then the voltage excitement. It's all those things just is equivalent to this 470 volt. If you divide it, just excitement. So what is important is this area which I've given to you, and if you understand this, then definitely you have no problem in production of your electricity. Now let's move further, because I'm going to say it now. Now I'm going to explain the different phases, because this area that I know many people will ask questions, many subscribers will ask questions, what is the difference between 3 phase and 1 phase. Now I've tried to bring it here because I'm talking about specification here, so I want you to have a knowledge on that, because many will still ask how I'm confused. What about 2 phase? What about 3 phase? What about 4 phase? What is the function? Let me tell you now. Now, the choice of a single phase or 3 phase generator will depend on what you want to connect. This is depend on what you want to connect. If you want to connect any equipment with a low voltage, as I said earlier, you go for 1 phase. So you can choose a single phase current, 220 volts, or a 3-phase current, 220 to 380 volts. I've told you about the volt system. I told you about some equipment, their volt consumption cannot pass more than 220. But if you have equipment that has a 380 volt and as volts as a current that can release better, then don't use 1 phase. Go for what? 3 phase. For instance, you may be having equipment like maybe a machine that is very high, that use a very high voltage conversion, like 380. If you buy the machine, look at the back of the machine, you see the volt specification is there. Even in your phone, you see there, sometimes you see 5 volts. So it's all specification for conversion rate. But if you are using equipment that has a high consumption rate and high voltage rate, maybe from 380, from 250, 280, 300, 400, please don't use 1 phase, use 3 phase, because 3 phase has the capacity. It's mostly for industrial dimension. Look at that, and 3 phase generator have a small dimension and lower weight compared to a single phase generator, because they use their winding more efficiently for energy distribution over a long distance. A 3-phase generator, power generator system, is more advisable. Thus, it will ensure that, for example, large industrial equipment operation operate more on 3-phase. 3-phase generator in some industry, large industry, use 3-phase generator because it consumes more voltage. So they need for them to run some equipment, those high power consuming equipment. So therefore they will need 3-phase, not 1 phase. 1 phase is mostly in-house consumption. Maybe if you are using like only in your house, fridge, AC, television, those ones are low consumption equipment, low consumption equipment, so you don't need too much voltage power. But if you are operating using it in industry, maybe for production of an equipment type or production of industrial products, it is advisable for you to use a 3-phase, because 3-phase will give you what you want. That is where I say it's mostly used on industrial process, because it will help you there. Then let me give you a diagram of this. Now this is the good diagram I can explain about the 3-phase and 1-phase system. Now if you look at this critically, you see that there's a 3 line running around. You have 3 lines here. We have to see this one now. It comes here and goes here, and it ends at 300, and so you see 3 or high. It's 1-phase. It's 3-phase. Then you see another line here, which is also the cable system, and voltage move, and they also have a 3rd line. So for you to know about 3-phase system, you use this equipment. Just every 3-phase system has 3 connection to cable, has 3 connection ports, while single phase just have 1 connection point, which is negative and positive, and that's why you see this system there. It shows you here. So this is what 1-phase is all about. You see it in 1 line. Why this one you see in 3 lines? Each of them is different. You have negative, positive, negative, positive. So this one move voltage, move current in a very high speed. We have a very high voltage, higher, while this one is lower. So that is where the 2 things come in. Now I still going to go further to this. Yes, this is another area which I want you to have much concern, because you are going to buy the equipment. So there are a lot of equipment that are not good. So if you don't have a good equipment, you may not have a good production. So for you to have a good production, you must have a good equipment. And what do you consider for that equipment? What do you consider for the generator? For you to have a good production, you must have a good generator. And for you to have a clean and good voltage, you must consider some things which I've named them already, but the most important thing is what I'm going to explain now. And take note of that, because many will not know about this. You might go to the market and say, well, I need generator, please, I need a generator, I need a generator to use for my operation, and they'll give it to you, and you don't know what is the configuration, you don't know what they use in the generator inside, because you're not able to know. So but in this video which I'm explaining now, you're going to know about that, because if you go there, ask them for this thing, and that is what we call copper wire. What is the copper wire they use in that generator? Because the coil must have original copper. That's why you see it here. If you observe in this place, in this 50 kVA generator, you saw that it's here 100% copper, not 80% copper, not 10% copper, not 50%. It's 100%. If you must have a high voltage, you must have 100% copper. Nothing less than that, because if it's not 100%, you may not have. There are some equipment that they wrote 50 kVA, but the operation rate is not to 40 kVA. If you test it with your meter, you discover that it's not generated up to 40. Because why? The copper is not 100%. Because even if the equipment is running high speed, if the copper is not 100%, it's not original, it means your production, your output, your voltage will not be up to that what you see. That is why it's always advisable for you to go on original copper wire. That's why I say 100% copper. And this is a copper I'm talking about. This is the copper here. This is a bundle. So if you want to buy your option, I advise you to ask them to give you 100% copper. Give you 100% copper wire, not 50%, not 80%. Those one that are 100%, ask them and check it also in the body of the generator whether it's also written 100% wire, because if it's not 100% copper, please don't buy. If it's not 100% copper, I advise you don't buy, because if you buy, you may not have the complete voltage. You may want to produce a 50 kVA generator, and then you end up having 10 kVA, 20 kVA, because the coppers are not original. But in the body they look 50 kVA, but in production rate it's not 50 kVA. Why? Because the copper is not 100%. So take note of this, because I know many of you still want to ask questions on this area about copper you're going to use, all these things. So I have to give you the secret, because many are being cheated on the area. Now I'm going to go back to this area which I explained earlier about this video. I know many of you have watched it earlier, but I'm also going to show you something about this video which many of you I would like you to also see. Now, this generator now, this is because this is the generator. If you observe critically here, let me take it back because I want you to notice something there. If you observe critically in this place, there are a lot of connections going here. You see different cables here around it. If you look at this cable here, you see that it's only one cable coming from here. This one cable. It shows you that this is a one-phase generator. It's not double phase, because if it is double phase, this if you see it now, this is one phase. That is why you can see the voltage, because one phase can carry your cutting machine or welding, can carry a welding. This one phase generator. See, I can see now. See it now. See this. So because it's one phase, the voltage is also high. But if you are using it for industrial purpose, one phase cannot carry it. But because this is industrial purpose, it's not about just cutting and welding. No, we're talking about something that to do with just like we are producing car. All this one I use a robot in large equipment. This one only one phase, double phase. But in this case, as you can see here in this video, you see that there's only one cable carrying this thing. This is one cable. This cable now is only one phase. That's why you see it can carry this thing. And if you see now, the generator is running at a very high speed, which means is well carried. What is using, that is the turn is okay, the speed is okay. It's nice. That's why you see if you have now see the rate at which the machine runs is normal. It's not affect anything. So I advise you for you to go in a very good, comfortable equipment by using the full carry. If you have a problem on this one explaining now, please you can also use mail, that is comment on this video. Tell me what is the problem you need. I'll also explain further in the next video. But for now, I want you to understand this, and I also want you to subscribe, share the video to your friends, and also if you need my contact, please mail me, give me your email, send me email address. My email address in the channel. Send me, and I also give my contact personally, so you can chat. I am in WhatsApp, I'm in the Telegram, and so on. So thank you very much for watching. I wish you the best as you continue to watch the next production. Bye for now.